the people conversation, or what is trending or emerging issues in Africa, or opportunities that we are experiencing or is set to experience in Africa. So, and if you have noticed, we have a lot of foreigners coming to invest in Africa at this point in time. So this conversation is timely, and that is why we really, really need to pay attention to what's going on. So without further ado, allow me to invite Mr. Mojid to start the conversation, probably say what I've left out, especially what is your favorite meal, Mr. Mojid?
Okay, good afternoon, good evening, everyone across the continent of Africa or wherever you may be joining us from the globe. It's great to be here, and I want to say, Madam Moderator, thank you very much. This is well appreciated, and it's going to be a wonderful day. I would love to share my slide. Let's start with that. Okay. Let me share my slides and then we'll see. Okay, great. I have you here. Madam, I'll use you as a sounding board. Have you seen my slides? Is it up there? All I just need to do is to put it. Okay.
On presentation mode, yes.
Yeah, thank you. Are we there now?
Certainly we are.
Great. Okay. Once again, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, because I can tell you my wife is going to be on this call and it's almost 2 a.m. where she is. So when I'm greeting good afternoon, good evening, good morning, you know what I'm talking about. The people in Australia are fast asleep as we have this session, and that is what has actually happened. The world has become a global capsule, and the things we're going to be sharing, this afternoon is going to be along that line. Imagine HR trends and issues in Africa. Basically, the core message I'll be coming up with in this presentation is that it is time for us as HR practitioners on this continent to say, no, look, being aware of the trend is no longer enough. Knowing the vocabulary, throwing around all kinds of facts is no longer enough. We need to begin to work and move towards what we call workforce system readiness. In other words, in the words of the guy who wrote Built to Last, is the same guy who wrote Good to Great, and so on. There's an expression used that the clock builders are better. They have great advantage over just telling the time. So in Africa, is time for us, especially for us HR practitioners, to begin to build clocks rather than just telling the time. So having said that, I will quickly move on to a few things. I'm going to, my intention, thank you, Madam Moderator. I want to take the introduction you have done for me. I will take it and I'm going to skip the audio introduction. But before then, for me, protocol is very important. And I want to pay sincere homage to our president, the African Human, Resource Confederation, Mr. Rajsi Prasad, and every other member of the AHRC board, and of course, the leadership of CIPM, especially the incumbent president, the gentleman I handed over to, Malam Ahmed Ladan Gobri, FCIPM, FNLI. The vice president promised that she will join, but at this particular hour, the CIPM Nigeria is having another virtual program called CIPM and You. So I can imagine the leadership of CIPM will first of all be there. That program started an hour ago, and I'm sure they are there. So I want to pay homage to them. My wife, like I said earlier, may probably, if she's able, I don't want to really wake her up, but if she's able to wake up on her own, she will join us. And of course, the people who brought us here, the HRS 2026 Planning Committee, Arusha, I call it Arusha 2026, Arusha 2026. Guys, sincerely, well done. We can see you making the moves and making the waves. Hopefully, it will be a successful one. Like the moderator said earlier on, Kigali in 2024 was beautiful. It was beautiful. So we look forward to a wonderful time in Arusha, Tanzania. Ladies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to be here. I'm going to keep this introduction, permit me, as we move on to what I call the opening context, because also we want to make this presentation as short as possible, but then we'll still have to pass the message. What we have seen in terms of trends and where we should be is that Africa's workplace future is being shaped by simultaneous forces. And for me, I don't see those forces as negative. What those forces have done is to place HR at the center of business continuity, of enterprise resilience, and even of national development. For instance, in terms of informal employment, these are things that have, characterize the African economy. 85.8% of informal employment. So in other words, formal employment in Africa is just about 15%. And as we move on about, we are expecting, additional 600 million working age people. That is an advantage for Africa. Very youthful population and so on. So the duty of HR is to see what do we do with this. And of course, 39% of workers' core skills are expected to change by 2030. And these are what I call very viable figures that that's what, those are the one in red down there is our source of information. So what is HR supposed to do? HR must therefore turn complexity into workforce intelligence, capability architecture, and execution discipline. And we will, as we move on, we will talk about these things. We're going to talk about them. It's not just for us to identify the trends, but what we ought to do, And talking of complexity, esteemed professional colleagues, for years we have heard about volatility, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity. I'm not here to talk about that today. And what I have in mind is very simple. What do we and what must we do? For years now, I've in my own little corner and through the help, I think I got that from Yale when I was in Yale, that what should be our response? And that I have tagged as VUCA Plus. Vision. HR must respond with vision. HR must, respond with understanding. HR must respond with clarity. And finally, with agility, resilience, responsiveness. That we do not, year after year, we are screaming about volatility. We already know it's here with us, and they are not about to go. But how do we respond? How do we make things happen? We make things happen through vision, through understanding, through clarity, through agility, through presence of mind, through wanting to do something about, especially in the African continent, through collaboration. We are at in Kigali, we started a move to collaborate with the African Union. We need to take that further. even at the global level, at the WF, I'm the president and myself, we are on the board of the WFPMA, that is the World Federation of People Management Association. And we have just taken a decision to be part of ILO, to see how we can make contributions to the ILO, how we can add value. And our president, the lady Peckham Lu from Singapore, was at this recently concluded ILO conference. That is what HR should be doing. How do we get involved? How do we influence decisions globally? So, ladies and gentlemen, since we're talking about trends and so on, we've been able to identify 6 trends, 6 forces reshaping work in Africa. The first one is AI and digital human resources. Work redesign, automation, HR analytics. Number 2, ladies and gentlemen, is skills disruption. There's no way AI will not disrupt skills. Skills are being disrupted. So, in essence, new capabilities and reskilling are going to, they must happen. Number 3, talent mobility, migration, remote work, fractional work. In Nigeria, there is the phrase Japa, and we have added another one, Japada. Because if our economies are being improved in Africa, the brain drain can actually become a kind of, we can have a return leg of the brain drain, people coming back, and we have a lot of that happening in Nigeria. I don't know how many of you are reading the news, how Lagos has suddenly become the tech capital of Africa. Not, in fact, the report ranked Lagos as number 1 globally of tech startups and things like that. And I can tell you, some of these guys have been out there and they are confident enough to bring back their resources. Number 4, workforce expectations. Flexibility. Employees are demanding more. They're asking for more. And these are things as HR we should prepare for. They are more knowledgeable of what is going on globally. They want more from work. And of course, number 5, manager redesign. If your employees are knowing more and they're asking more, the manager also cannot afford to be stationary. Execution must be top notch. The manager needs to know, have better ways of, coaching, decisioning, and so on and so forth. And lastly, but not the least, is the, labor market informality. Formal, and informal interface and standards. And that's where you see institutes like African Human Resource Confederation, the CIPM, the IPM of South Africa, the HRMO of Rwanda, coming in to see what can we do at the national level and then at the sub-national level to put in some standard, in place. Therefore, strategic HR leadership begins when these forces are translated into workforce choices, into things that will impact the workforce. So let's see if we're going to look at the first one in detail a little bit more. The trend number 1 is AI and digital HR. We all know we are all witnesses to the fact that AI is now involved in recruitment. Incidentally, I work for an HR consulting firm called Bezali Consulting, and these are things we do. And we have seen how AI, keeps facilitating our work in onboarding, in learning, in performance support, in workforce analytics, and of course, eventually the employee experience. And the key issue, ladies and gentlemen, is that AI adoption without trust, ethics, the ethical use of AI will continue to come up, not only in HR, but even in all, in all facets of life. It will continue to come up, but then AI stands in a good stead to begin to join in the discussion, in the conversation how can we use AI ethically? Trust, data quality. There must be ethical, guardrails. And of course, the capability of the manager, if it's not there, that will surely weaken employee experience, what I call EX. So things to be done, is about, yes, we're going to digitalize the process. We're going to generate insight. We're going to redesign work, how, and of course, the ethical use of AI. So as HR, what should we do? We define an AI in HR governance position covering fairness, privacy, transparency, human review, and of course, we communicate. We cannot communicate enough. These days, a lot of things are being done with AI. People are cloning voices and so on. When you even see a release, you begin to wonder the genuineness of that release. We must find a way, to work around this. Trend number 2, ladies and gentlemen, is what I said earlier on skills disruption and capability pressure. The skills question has moved from training attendance to measurable learning transfer. Gone are the days, and I want us to listen very carefully, where we measure training by the numbers of by the number of hours of training attended. No, gone are the days. Employers, owners of businesses, both are asking, where is the impact of the training? And that's very important for me. I'm a Kirkpatrick certified, and so I go the return on expectation route. I know some people go the return on investment route where you begin to do calculations. But my knowledge of this, I'm going to show it in the next slide, is about return on expectations. We've got to know first, what does our strategy require? Do we have the capability? Again, that is what we call capability analysis. Do we have the capability to achieve our strategy? Our people, what do they have as we speak? And then we go on to see how we can close the gap, because there will always be gap.
Mr. Mujib,
yes, ma'am.
If I may disrupt, there's something that is blocking the right side of the presentation. There's a gray thing that is blocking the last part.
This side?
Yes, this side.
Can you see my hand?
Yes, I can see your hand. So on this side, yes.
My right side.
Yes, the part where there is skill demand, skill supply, skill build. The other one is skill something we can't see.
Wow. I wouldn't know where that is coming from. Whoa, I would, and it's been on in all the slides.
Yes.
Whoa, I wouldn't know where that is coming from. Wow.
Okay.
I have beautiful white background slide. Is that what you are seeing?
There is a gray that is appearing. We are seeing the white, but there's a gray that keeps popping on the screen.
In all the slides?
Yes.
Wow. What could that be?
I have no idea.
What could that be? Someone in Nigeria who has my number should take a picture and send to me via WhatsApp.
There's a Barry is saying that Mujid should rejoin. You
Okay.
Stop sharing and reshare again. It's probably a loading thing. Yeah.
Okay. Let me see. Stop sharing.
Yeah. Then start sharing.
Wow. What could that be?
He says it's probably a loading issue. Yeah.
Loading issue. Okay. Let me pause and should I log out, or I should let me share again and let's see. Wow, a loading issue. I can't see anything here. Wow. Okay. I can't see anything here. Okay. Oh, that can be very distracting. Okay, now the way
Still
it is
there.
now, it's still there.
Yes, it is. I also don't know what that is, but I can take a screenshot and send to your WhatsApp.
Hold on. Okay. So you're saying from slide number 1, it's been there.
Yes.
Wow.
Can I try sharing? I have the presentation.
It won't be the same. I know you have the PDF format. You do not have you do not have the videos.
Oh, no, I don't have the videos.
Yeah, yeah, Grace, I'm coming. Let me look at it. Wow, where is this coming from? I can see it in this picture. This is ugly.
Yeah.
Esteemed ladies and gentlemen, let me log out. I'm going to log out, and I wouldn't know where, stop sharing. I wouldn't know where this is coming from.
That's okay. While you log out, we can ask Dennis to do an introduction for the AHRS as you come back.
Okay, okay. I'll see you soon.
Dennis, you're here. You can say hello and invite people to the summit.
Yes, Grace. Do you want to see my face?
I personally do not, but the people want.
Okay, protocol should be observed. Okay.
Yes.
Yes, Grace. Good morning, good evening. It's great to be here. Thank you so much, Grace, for your time. Let me do it quickly before the Mojid come. We all about aware on the Africa HR Summit. So let me share my screen. My name is Dennis Derua. I'm the SG Katibu of THRAPA. I'm also a board member of Africa HR Confederation and also a Katibu of East Africa Federation. Grace, did you see my request for sharing my screen?
Yes, it's done.
Okay.
It's done.
So did you see my screen?
It is loading.
It's loading.
Yes.
Confirm if you see my screen.
Yes, we do.
We do. Ladies and gentlemen, this is all about the Africa HR Summit. Let me go through the website. We have a website at africahrsummit.org. This provides the all information regarding to the Africa HR Summit. So as you see, the theme is transformation, the workforce, the date, and so on. When you preview the website, you see about the summit. We'll introduce you to understanding briefly about the summit. Even you see the speaker, here the part of the speaker. We have a number of speakers who have already confirmed, and we are continue to receiving the requesting and initiative for the speaker. We have a speaker from international. Also, we have a speaker for continental and even the regional. So we try our best to bring people on board. The second part for the agenda, if you need to understand the program, what will be going on. As you see on 18, we do the registration. This is arrival and registration, where you can register, completing your registration, collecting your ID badge, and every package needed to be offered as a delegate. The second day, 19, is open ceremony. You can go through yourself to see what happened on the open ceremony day. There is a part of roundtable on the second day, 9:20. Even the cocktail, we have a cocktail part. So don't miss up. Even the master class and the tour. The second, the most important part, which I need you to be known, is about the part of the tour. The part of the tour is 22 August, where you're supposed to register for those who opt to go to tour. And there are the 3 categories regarding to the international tour standard. We have Tanzanian, we have East African community, but we have foreign. Foreign, we mean those who outside the East African community as a part of international delegates. They are part of registration. You go through the registration, you register, you put your reference, and so on. Another part is accommodation. We have a several number of list of the hotel in the different level. We put the category 5-star hotel, 4-star hotel, 3-star hotel. So this is a hotel which recommended for Arusha. There is many, but at least we try for simple number with the expectation, but there is a many list of the accommodation. If you need more than this one, we have a number for our support for the accommodation. Go through at the down one, you see. Sorry, I will be quick. Sorry, Grace. You will see if you need the assist with the booking, there is a number of our agents who support us about the accommodation, about the logistics, and so on. But also, we have a part of visa for international delegates. We have a part of visa. When you go through our website, when you apply for visa, we have a land page for the immigration. And also, we have already partnered with the immigration for those who come in outside the Tanzania. If you are referral, visa for referral, you need the letter for the reference from the THRAPA. So we are supporting you the letter for the invitation for the immigration. But their application is simple. You need to apply for the visa. If you are new visa for us, we opt for ordinary visa. The ordinary visa is special for exhibition, workshop, and the meeting. So you go through there. If you need any assist, any support, don't hesitate to let me know, or secretariat team to supporting you. And another part, sorry. On the another part regarding to the Grace, am I becoming a Mojid? What happened to, okay.
Technology.
Yeah, technology.
Yeah.
But not for me. On another part is about the, as you see, we summarize the fee for the visa. So everything smoothly, if you need to understand about the visa, how to apply, and the process of application is there. And then the another part is the issue of travel. We assist the part of travel. Travel is correlating with the visa. If you need any assist for the flight issue, on ground transport, and so on, everything connected, the information is within our. We use the Kilimanjaro, for international delegate, we use Kilimanjaro Airport or Arusha Airport. So for some flight, for example, Ethiopia Airlines, you land to Kilimanjaro. For example, the Kenya, and there are some options. You can opt international airline, but when they land in Tanzania, they will cooperate with the local flight to Arusha. So from the Kilimanjaro to Arusha is around 46 kilometers. We have already arranged the shuttle, even the transport support. So that is a part of the travel, but also we have a part of registration. When you go through the part of registration, you see the option of configure your registration. When you select your two options, select the currency. For international, we use USD, dollar. But also, for example, after selecting the USD, there is an option of member for the East African, for Africa, for international. So for those who are paying online after completing your registration, your option to pay online by Visa or by transfer via the bank. But also we have another option. You can register now to confirm you are coming to the summit, and then you can reconciliate about the payment. So we have the all option. I hope, Gracing, I will take a long time, but briefly, I hope people, they will understand. Feel free, visit our website, africahrsummit.or. Everything will be there. One Africa, one HR. Thank you, Grace.
Thank you very much, Dennis. And I can see someone saying, thank you. This is clearing a lot. That is George from Malawi. Thank you for that info. We really, really needed it and has made work easier. Back to you, Mojid. Here we are.
Okay, I'm back. Hopefully, let's hope that we'll get this done. I wouldn't know where that is coming from. So we're going to.
There's someone who has sent what is happening, but in Zoom, check view options, hide floating meeting controls. Just share, we see.
Thank you very much. Then there's something here that is no longer enabled. What do you think? I want to share sound. I want to optimize for video, but it's no longer clicking. It clicked the fourth time around. What do you think? Wow.
Okay.
Who is
Let me
going to
just
help
see.
us?
Share. Just 1 second. Done.
Okay. All right. It's done. Let's see. Wow. Okay. If it's not going to allow that, that means.
I have made you co-host. Try now.
Okay. Let's see.
Yeah.
It's not allowing that. I don't know. It's not allowing it. And
it's not allowing you to share.
Yeah, no, not share. There is what we call share options.
Yes.
Share options. Yes, I'm trying to click the share options. It's not enabled because I have sound to share with the audience.
Okay.
I have sound to share with the audience, but it's not coming up. Okay. It's not coming up for now. Wow. That shouldn't be. That
what I
shouldn't
can
be.
do.
I did it. The first time around, it allowed me.
Okay.
So I wonder why it's no longer allowing it now. And okay. Moment. Let me try again. Let's see. It's not here.
Okay. Let me make you host, and then you can make me co-host.
Okay, let's see whether that will work.
Done.
Okay. Should be looking for Grace, I guess.
No. Oh yeah. No, Atara Solutions. Sorry. Just go ahead and try sharing. Once you share, I will figure myself out.
Okay. All right. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, let's continue. We're going to miss our videos, those videos, because the thing has refused to enable. We're going to miss our videos. Let's go and see how it looks again. Do we still have, just a moment, ma'am. I need to take this out of here.
Finally. So try full screen. We see.
Okay. Remove all spotlighted videos. I wouldn't know what that means.
No, you're the only one on Spotlight, so just proceed.
Okay. Unfortunately, this time around, our videos will not play, but let's quickly run through this, and then maybe during question and answers, we can. Wow. So we were actually here. The skill transfer part was the one blocked, maybe between slide 1 and 8, but let's quickly move on. So we were talking about the fact that gone are the days when training is being measured from how many hours of training have you done. That era is gone. The business is asking what impact. The business is asking what difference. And the earlier we wake up to that reality, the better. And also what I said before the interruption was the fact that I'm a Kirkpatrick certified person. I know people who want to calculate the every dollar that the particular training has added to the business. No, that's not the way I go. I go the way of return on expectations. So that's why I brought this here, that HR, whether we like it or not, we already have the capability, except if we do not want to use it. That it is time to move away from effective training to training effectiveness. Call it capability development, call it learning and development, call it learning and performance. These are things that we should, long before, for our strategy to work, these are things we should, before you begin a capability process, before you begin a development process, you want to ask, what results are we aiming at? And then you should be able to measure, you should be able to devise the means you're going to measure that impact. So I just thought I should quickly mention that as one of the trends. Wow. A lot of things have now come to disturb. So I need to move and say, okay, I think just a moment. Just trying to see. Okay, let's move on. The next trend number three is what we call talent mobility. And don't forget, when I was, trying to do this at the summary point, I spoke about JAPA and JAPADA. And of course, that also leads to what we call the retention equation. In Africa, we are competing with so many things. Either our brains are getting drained abroad, or now the thing is that people are now seated in Lagos, they are seated in Abuja, they are seated in the big cities, and they are working for multinationals. So when we are talking about retention now, it's not just throwing out there some grammar. Employees will now have to see it in real time. What is HR and the employer? What are we doing to get them retained? African organizations are competing with local employers, regional employers, global remote work, diaspora pathways, fractional, employment. In fact, we used to call it executive sourcing. That is now on the rise. Just, do this for 6 months, get well paid, and you move on. Yeah, you can call it independent work model. Retention is now a value proposition, not just a loyalty campaign. Let's quickly look at what is trend number 4 that we've been able to identify that is happening, what is happening in this terrestrial place called Africa. Workforce expectations and well-being, employee experience. More than ever before, people are becoming aware of the workplace. I think that is a good side to COVID. Yeah, after 2020, people are beginning to ask questions. Is it worth it? What do they have for me in this place? They're asking sharper questions about their growth, about dignity, about flexibility, about voice. As leaders, we have become, we've come under, bigger lenses, especially HR. And of course, currently, globally, organizations are not doing very well. 20% global employees engagement in 2025, Gallup. $10 trillion lost to, you can call it low engagement or disengagement. I'm not talking about determination of services. I'm talking about people coming to work. I'm talking about what we lose to presenteeism. And there's a lot of other names now, quiet quitting and things like that that has been given. 5 questions shaping employee commitment. Even in the next slide, I'm going to show you something on employee engagement again. Can I grow here? Can I be hard here? Can I work with dignity here? Can I trust leadership here? Can my work support my life? In fact, that is about the highest of the question, what is in it for me? So as HR practitioners, this is meant to help us to even, to be proactive rather than reactive. Well-being has become a productivity, retention, and leadership credibility issue. And I know organizations who are spending heavily on EAPs, employee assistance programs, massively in order to bridge this gap. And still on employee engagement, this is the question. This is where HR should put itself, before the mirror. And I got these questions from a book, Going the Extra Mile. I was looking for it if I could find it in the library. This week, probably is in the office or at home, or somebody has borrowed it. These are the major questions. Do your employees trust you? These are employee engagement questions. This is the challenge before HR that we should go, either a step further or steps further. Are you good at inspiring your people? Is there clarity? I told us earlier that vision, understanding, clarity, and agility. Is there clarity on what they should be doing and what they should deliver? Is there clarity about results? Do they know what good, what excellent, what effectiveness looks like? And all these things actually they fall on the table of HR. Do they really, do they really care about doing those things? Even if we say they understand, is there a passion in them? These are things that we have seen. And can they trust you that you really have their interest at heart? And then let's take all the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 questions. Now let me ask myself, and you should also ask yourself, do you think these questions are important? If you want to talk about employee experience, if you want to talk about employee engagement, HR, we should stand before the mirror and ask those questions. Grace, is not likely because those things were not enabled. Just let me know if this video plays. If not, we'll skip it and we'll move on. And that will probably give me some extra 10 minutes. Let's see. It was not enabled, so I'm not sure you guys will hear me.
We can see the movement of the video, but we cannot hear.
Yeah, because those things were not enabled. So we have to move on.
When you go to share, to share screen, go to advanced.
I was trying to click them. They were not responding to the clicking.
The share screen.
Yeah.
Because I can't. Yeah.
Hold on. There are 2 dots that I should click when I was sharing.
No, you see, when you go to share, the word written share, the arrow there, even if you were sharing the screen as you were, even if your PowerPoint is on, you go to advanced. It takes you, when you click on share, it takes you to screen document or advanced.
Yeah, that's a very long route, but it's okay, we can do that. Hold on, we can use that. We can go via that route if that will make us enjoy this.
Yeah.
Okay, screen.
Then instead
I
of
should
screen,
go
go to advanced. Advanced. There are 3 options there.
yes, advanced. Yes, ma'am. I've
Then
gone to
see,
advanced.
there's a place there that has a sound,
Video or what?
computer audio.
Computer audio. Yes. And then
You click there.
computer video. If I click audio or video, which one do you think I should click?
If you're still going to share the screen of your
Yeah.
presentation, right?
Yeah.
So you share the screen of the presentation first, then you go to the same step and click on the computer audio. We should be able to hear your sound.
Okay. Wow. No, that's not what I want to do. That's this, share. Not even coming up. Just a moment. I want to share. Screen.
You can share the presentation the way you
That's
had
what we'll
shared.
do. Yeah, let's go back. This is the presentation here.
Yeah. So the video is on. Yes.
It's on, huh?
Yes. So go to now share again. Don't remove share. Click on the share button again.
Okay.
Then go to advanced.
Can you see my slide?
Yes.
You can see my slide.
Yes.
So
you
I
go
can't,
to.
if I can't go back there unless if I stop sharing. Let's see. Let me see. Is there any drawdown? Yeah, then it takes much control. Okay, do you know what we do? Let's move on. Let's move
Yeah,
on.
we can move
Let's
on.
move on. Sorry, let's move on. Sincere apologies to all the audience. This one that coming here to learn. I'm not used to. I don't know why that thing will not click. Okay, this clip is just about employee engagement. Sorry, Grace, let me know if you can hear me loud and clear. If you can hear me, not the video.
Yes,
Can
we
you
can
hear
hear
me?
you.
Okay,
Yes,
all
we
right.
can hear you.
So sorry about that. The video, well, normally it plays seamlessly. Sorry, it could be some elements of technology. So we'll move on. We'll move on quickly, and maybe if there's anything that can be done. Sorry, I'm used to just plugging in my Zoom and then boom, I move on. I think there's a bit of some intricacies here that I didn't get today. So trend number 5 is the issue of leadership. The manager, this time around, and the manager in any organization, not limited to HR manager, should be a performance multiplier. That's what we have discovered. They now carry, the responsibility of the transmission, what I call the transmission burden, that is translating our strategy with clarity, with coaching, to become reality, to produce the result the strategy is meant to achieve. And by that, manager capability must now include performance coaching. Sorry, we're going to miss that video. I have a video to support that on performance coaching. We're going to miss it. This, decision clarity, feedback discipline, and of course, well-being support and accountability. So I'm supposed to talk about 3 of these. That is performance coaching, feedback, discipline, and accountability. But let's quickly move on. The HR issue here is that weak manager capacity turns strategy into noise. In other words, there must continually be executive development, and there must be development across board. That is the situation that we are faced with in Africa. And if you look at it, it's not just in Africa, at the global level, because the world has become a global, not a village again, a global capsule. So whatever happens anywhere in any other continent affects Africa also. And when we talk about feedback, the source of feedback is just a part. It's only a part. How useful that feedback is also very important. And 3 key elements of feedback is either constructive and effective, or ineffective, or destructive. I just want to leave this with us. And I'm sure, Grace, I don't know how you people get the slides to participant. I'm sure whatever you want to do after this. And when we talk of accountability, let me make it very short. There are 16 best practices of accountability, especially when you approach that through the lead process of accountability, LEAD. And managers must be accountable. We must own it. We can't afford to play the ostrich. We cannot do that again. How do we become accountable? First thing is, in every situation, you listen to that situation, you proceed to own it, then you go ahead to analyze it, and after you have your solution, please, execution. Execution, that is LEAD. You listen, you own it, and of course, owning it means you engage it. That is the E there. And then solving it is the analysis stage. And I always say this, that at the analysis stage, please do not be bogged down by analysis paralysis. So you get the solution, and it doesn't stop at the solution level. You execute your solution. These are the 4 levels, 4 processes of accountability. We'll move on quickly. And of course, I said we won't be able to play this video because you won't hear it. So the last trend, ladies and gentlemen, is what we call the labor market: informality, standards, and social protection. Because of the fact that 85% of the African workforce is in the informal sector. And what should we begin to do? A large informal economy shapes talent visibility, productivity measurement, skill certification, worker protection, and workforce planning. A lot of the workers in the informal sector are not protected. They're not even planned for in most cases. So we could actually borrow from the formal sector to go into the informal sector to get them organized. That is where professional institutes like AHRC taking the lead in conjunction with the African Union, the World Federation of People Management Association, in conjunction with ILO, bringing some ideas to the table. We can strengthen standards, certifications, evidence, and formalization pathways. In CIPM, for instance, as much as possible, we are trying to reach out with various levels of certifications to as many people that are interested in people management as possible. And that is where HR should be playing. That is the role that is expected of us. Strategic pressure. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, these are major issues that we must address. We can't afford postponing it. What are we doing about rewards? What are we doing? How intentional are we developing capabilities? What are we doing about AI? Yes, everybody is, screaming AI. Everybody is pumped up. AI is here. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. There is still this lack of trust that HR should take the lead in crafting necessary policies to guide the use of HR. The use of AI If we leave it to the government may end up trying to, do some things that actually we stifle. But HR should rise up to the occasion. Then execution is very imperative. If we do all this and we lack the execution drive, then there will be slow decision, unclear authority, and weak accountability. Then we need to address cultural fragility, behavioral contradictions between values and incentives. Are people being paid for work done? And of course, like you see in red, these are design problems. They require systems, routines, metrics, and leadership discipline. And whenever I mention leadership discipline, I hope nobody is beginning to think of government. Nobody is beginning to think of the president of the nation. No, the leadership discipline I'm referring to is HR leadership. HR leadership. So what are the shifts necessary? A future-ready HR mandate for Africa from activity orientation. This is where I started from. From activity orientation to value architecture. It's no longer about activity. It's no longer about how many hours you spend in training. It's no longer about knowing all the crimes. It's no longer about playing out at various social media places. It's time for us to roll our sleeves and add value. Intelligence, that's where to start with. What are the things? Yes, it's good to know what is going on, or to have all the data to come here and say, well, 85% of Africa workforce is informal and so on. What are we doing about it? We go ahead, to the architecture, to design workforce, reward, performance, learning, and culture systems. And then transmission, enable managers to translate strategy into action. Continuous learning. The ability to be clear, clarity, that's where managers can break down strategy, to the masses, from the strategic leadership level to the middle level, and then passing it on to the rank and file, because that is where we add value. And of course, governance will protect trust, fairness, accountability, and of course, responsible technology. Those are the shifts. And of course, I had used this. Was it which of them now? I think I did this with GCA HRA in Ghana. The 4A models of strategic HR readiness. Awareness, what is changing outside the organization. In other words, what is changing around us. We need to know. Some people will say environmental scanning, fantastic. How do we align? Do we have the right talent for our direction? Capability analysis. Architecture, is our system enabling execution? What kind of culture do we have? Are we rewarding the right things? And of course, how fast can we turn our intentions, our strategy documents into results? So ladies and gentlemen, that will be about the whole thing. What advantage do we have? What are the low-hanging fruits? What can we do in the immediate? Look at HR tech. I told you about Lagos earlier, how Lagos has become the hub. And maybe we didn't even know that it was going on until we saw that report where Lagos is number 1. Mobile force, cloud-based and context-aware solutions. The regional talent market, these are things that, after I told you about in 2024, how we approach AU, and I'm going to even talk to the president that we should continue. The gentleman from Rwanda was always, wanted us to get the AU involved. The green economy, new work in energy, health, infrastructure, and services. And these are the areas that AI can really help us to move. Of course, the one big advantage we have is our youth, the youthfulness of the workforce. How do we turn them into a productive force rather than a destructive force? And you know that if the whole world is looking towards Africa, but are we rightly developing our youths? Are we rightly pricing them so that they are not just taken away, so that we're not involved in neo-colonialism? We are not being enslaved the second time. And of course, manager capability, leadership transmission in a big way, in a very big way. This is my call to action. You can call this a 90-day HR leadership agenda. Number one, in our various organizations, it's very simple. Run a workforce intelligence scan. Number two, identify critical roles and scarce skills. A client is currently talking to us to do what we call capability analysis. It's a very big one. It's a huge client. You would think, nah, you guys are big. You've been here for some time. But they also know where they are going, and we want to groom almost every manager to know how to do this. Number three, audit reward and retention risk. What risk are we facing? What are we doing with our reward system? Why are our people leaving? Rebuild learning around capability transfer. Learning now must concentrate on learning transfer. You go for that training, we want to see what system can you put in place that first and foremost, what we do, we work with the HR of our client that in the next 4 months, we are coming back to see how these people are applying their learning. Some of them will say 6 months, depending. 5, define AI in HR governance principles. You can call it HR policy on your AI. And of course, reset managers' expectations and routines. A credible HR response starts with evidence, focuses on critical capabilities, and builds routines that leaders can sustain. Call it a 90-day calendar to get some things done. I would have loved to play this video on execution. You see it moving, the voice. I don't know why the thing disappeared, because the first time it was there. Therefore, okay, ladies and gentlemen, quick one. I will move on because I know my closing charge is very simple. Africa's workforce future will be shaped by the quality of the people systems we build. Yes, building system is very important. But now we're talking about our people system we build. Let us therefore build systems that carry growth, absorb shocks, develop capability, protect dignity, and convert strategy into results. I say thank you for listening to me, and sincere apologies. I don't know what happened to Zoom, that those things could not click. Yeah, the videos are just 3 minutes each, so we'll have spent a total of 10 minutes for those 3 videos. But it's okay. It's okay. One other thing about those videos is that they have transcripts. I can send the transcripts to Dennis to forward it to participants on this call. Yeah, the transcript word for word of what will have been said in the video. So that is something we could do. So Grace, over to you. Thank you very much for having me. We'll see in Arusha, Tanzania. August is almost here.
August is almost here, that's true. But if you allow us, we can spend about 5-10 minutes to answer just, I think right now I can see one question. Okay. There's a Naiman says, can you share best HR practices for psychological safety, especially after coronavirus? It is an emerging issue in any organization, especially with emerging generation. So what are the 3 best practices for psychological safety? And
That's a
then
long one.
yeah, no, I think the main part is the best HR practices for psychological safety. 3 of them
Where are you reading that from?
from the chat.
The chat room.
Yes.
It's very simple. Can you share best HR practice for psychology? Please, can you please quickly ask AI to give you that answer? Grace,
Yes.
I can see you're smiling. I can see you smiling. Just ask AI. Can we do some experience question in here?
That's okay. That's okay. That's okay. That's okay.
My colleagues are funny. No, please
Yeah.
just go ahead and ask AI. Yeah, I will give you that question. But can we just get some more practical questions if there is any? If there is none, we'll move on.
Yeah, there's one.
Yeah, hold
Okay,
on.
from AI, it's talking about embedding psychological safety in leadership expectations, create multiple safe channels for employee to voice, allow people to speak up, normalize learning from mistakes, train managers on difficult conversations,
Thank you.
encourage inclusive meetings, build trust through fair and consistent policies, and measure psychological safety consistently,
you.
among others. There are quite a number there.
Thank you. That's it.
There is another question on how do we coexist in a fast-paced environment for multi-generations?
Okay. Practically, I keep telling people when we talk about multi-generations, don't try to divide us. I'm telling you, and I take this to work. The African society have lived together for long. The father, the mother, and the children. They are not the same generation. Are you listening to me very carefully? As much as I'm not asking the manager to treat the co-worker as children, the same philosophy works. We listen to our children. They ask questions because now you have the Gen Zs, you know before the Gen Zs you have the millennial, the Gen Ys. Now you have the Gen Zs. The Alpha are not yet at work, but I can tell you that in some organizations we still have 5 generations. And basically, it's very simple. And each generation has their own characteristics. A leader must know what are the pain points of each of these generations. How should they be handled? If I have a Gen Z, for example, yes, I have one in my office. How do we relate? We don't relate as daddy and son. But right in my head is how do I handle the people at home, the love I share, the counseling I give, the desire in me for him to make progress. And of course, I also will not shy away from confronting. Take note of the word confronting, not confrontation. Confronting is a moment of assertiveness in correcting an error. So I called the young man, no, this is wrong, and this is why. I don't know how many of us as parents, we've been told severally that when you are, okay, now I'm talking about your child now, when you are spanking a child, you should tell the child why you are doing that. In the workplace, when you are rebuking a co-worker, especially from another generation, you should be able to tell this is why this is unacceptable. At times there are times you want to tell him the solution. Yes, because I know that when we were being groomed, we were forced to go and look for the solution by ourselves. But the era is changing. You don't even have that time. The kind of time we had growing up. I'm a baby boomer. We don't even have that time now. If you stress that young man too much, he leaves. He goes to look for another job. He stays at home, he's working and earning some good dollars. So we keep on that. For me, that is the approach. As I'm not asking us to condone irresponsibility. I'm not asking us to condone indolence. However, I think we need more of emotional intelligence, high level of it, of self-awareness, of self-control, of motivation, of empathy, and of our social skills to manage a multi-generational workplace. Thank you very much.
Absolutely, absolutely. And maybe just to add on that, one of the things that I've seen working is reverse mentorship, where you can have job shadowing from between generations, so that you can normalize working together, and then creating a culture where people are not picking on each other. There's no what we call ageism, that you're too young to know that mindset, or you're too old to understand technology. So embracing that mindset is also a tool you can use. All right, Mr.
Let me quickly add two things. I gave you 5 skills of emotional intelligence. For years now, I've added 2, and that is the humility and vulnerability. They are a bit linked. Humility and vulnerability are a bit linked. So the older one should be vulnerable once in a while. Just you are not expected to know everything. For me, I don't know everything. So I tell the younger person, please go and look for it. Now AI has made things possible. I'm not talking of ChatGPT. I'm talking, one-on-one, asking AI, speaking back to you and things like that. I have young people in my office. They do that and they bring solution. What I now do with that is that I add my own experience into it. I don't just take it like a hook, line, and sinker. I'm not too proud to say that, look, I don't know it all. So for those, and that has been, for me, I know, if you know, you introduced me as immediate past president. So for 3 years, I was president, and I led a solid team of a multi-generational solid team. And that actually gave us the success recorded in those 3 years. Thank you very much.
Absolutely, absolutely. So in the interest of time, Mr. Mojeed, what is your parting shot?
Well, it's very simple. HR has evolved. For me, we started HR as personnel management. That was what we used to be called. And it has not stayed in one place since then. I'm a student of Devoric. And I have followed the evolution of HR. And I just want to say that we are not even there yet. HR keeps going up. And I want to appeal to everyone that let us all meet in Arusha in August. We're going to see some massive exposition of where HR is taking us, especially in particular reference to the African continent. So I can only say, let us be expectant, and let us keep learning and applying our learning. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Vice President, and a very, very, very enlightening session. And I apologize as well for the technological hitches, but we become flexible. And thank you for sharing. Really impressive. Unfortunately, we did not collect email addresses, but this has been live on YouTube. So we shall share the YouTube recording as well, so that in case somebody missed out, they can always catch up there. And Dennis, I don't know whether you have anything to say before we close. Dennis Derua.
Dennis, the mastermind.
Yes. Yes, Gracie.
Yeah, you can give your yes, you can give your closing remarks.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. VP. It's good pressure. today you make things happen. And thank you so much for the participants who join us this evening, this night, this morning, all of them. On my wish, I wish to welcome all of you. Just secure your visa, plan your journal. Welcome to Tanzania. This time around, we have a good things, we have a good surprise, we have a good amazing for transformation for future of workforce to Africa. Thank you so much. One Africa, one HR.
Excellent, excellent, Dennis. Thank you very much. We're looking forward. We are already shopping for suitcases. We shall be in Arusha. We are about to start the countdown as soon as we hit July. We shall be letting you know the number of days left. So that you can make sure your visas are secured, your journey is planned, and you can make it to Arusha, Tanzania. So thank you very much, guys, for joining us. We really appreciate.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.
Have a lovely evening.